Popular South African novelist Andre Brink has died at the age of 79. Brink reportedly died on a plane on his way back from Belgium yesterday. Earlier this week, Brink was awarded an honorary doctorate from a Belgian university. The distinguished writer, literary critic and academic was also known for his work against the apartheid government. His book, Kennis van die Aand, was the first Afrikaans book to be banned by the apartheid government. During the 60s, he wrote novels and plays in Afrikaans while working as a university lecturer. Brink has received several honorary doctorates and literary awards. Someone who was close to celebrated South African author Andre Brink was fellow writer and activist Helen Moffett. She joins me now to share her memories about Brink. Helen, thank you for joining us. Tell me, how did you hear of the news of Andre Brink's passing?
Hi there. His wife, Karina, sent me a text at 7:30 this morning, giving me the news.
We're so sorry for your loss. Having been close to him, what are your fondest memories of him as a person, a friend, and a colleague in the literary field?
I should say that I feel a real charlatan as I'm a friend of his wife, and that's how I got to know him. But I think there's no better epitaph and more accurate one for Andre than that he was kind. He was endlessly supportive and generous. He was hardworking. He gave his time and his effort freely to younger, struggling writers. We all owe him so much. I mean, I think that for many South Africans in the 70s and the 80s, if you think about the conditions we lived under then, his books opened windows into our world that we wouldn't otherwise have had. I remember reading A Dry White Season and it being a completely life-changing experience.
Now, his passing is certainly a huge loss to the South African literary community, but also to the whole country. What do you think his most lasting legacy will be as a fellow writer?
I don't really want to put myself in the same category as somebody like Andre, but I think there's three things about Andre. He was a remarkable writer, but which is not always true of brilliant writers. He was also the most fantastic teacher. To hear him give a lecture was just to come alive. So he was a great teacher. He was a great writer. And then I think he modeled for a lot of us how you can use your writing to, in the words of Edward Said, speak truth to power. And so he injected his political passion into his writing and his integrity and his vision. And I think that's what he'll be remembered for. I mean, right up until sort of with the Secrecy Act wanting, passing through the channels. I remember him and Nadine Gordimer sort of like leaping onto that cause and being determined to do something about it. So he was active and an activist, and he seamlessly integrated that with his work as a public intellectual and a writer.
Well, thank you very much. That was writer and activist Helen Moffett sharing her memories after the passing of celebrated South African writer Andre Brink.